morning, Father.
Good morning, Beth. How is everyone?
All is well, Father, now that you're here.
Very well.
Our patient in 303 wishes to see you.
All right, then.
Father Joe.
Hi, Jimmy. I heard your mom and pop came to visit you in the hospital. Are you happy to see them?
Yeah.
What is it you fear, my child? Is it the procedure?
No.
Is it being here in the hospital?
No. I'm afraid to go to school and go home.
Why is that, my child?
The world doesn't seem that good anymore.
My dear child, do you know why the sun rises every morning? It rises not merely from the darkness of the world for which we see. It rises for something else, something beautiful. It rises for the good in this world which is unseen.
I just don't know how you do it, Father. So many of them are afraid, and it's really hard to comfort them and tell them that it's going to be all right.
It is only natural for them to feel this way. You know, Plato once said that we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. But the real tragedy in life, however, is men who are afraid of the light.
Dum-dum, there was a turtle by the name of Bert, and the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for
Eisenhower strides to make a deal with the Soviets. And look at this fool, McCarthy. At it again. You see, Marie, these bureaucrats, they're all the same.
Who's Eisenhower, Dad?
The president, dear.
Mom, can you go shopping for our prom dresses today?
What? Did you want to kiss Charles?
It's none of your business.
We'll go tomorrow, dear, okay? Jay, stop playing with your food.
It just never ends. What would Jim Soule know, like? A whole lot more than them, I assure you. It's not like I'm the district attorney who served his country or anything. I didn't see them in the foxhole with me. Gosh, they should all be locked up, every single one of them.
It'll be okay, dear. Come on, you're gonna be late.
I'd sure be happy to prosecute.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad.
Stay out of trouble. Bye, dear.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Joseph McCarthy investigated possible subversive activity in the Army. Legal counsel for the Army was Joseph Welch. On June 9th, McCarthy accused a young Welch aide of communist ties. Pained and outraged, Mr. Welch replied,
Have you no sense of decency, sir, at long last? Have you left no sense of decency?
You brought him down, did you not, to act as your assistant?
Mr. McCarthy, if there is a God in heaven, it will do neither you nor your cause any good. I will not discuss it.
Mr. Saul, the woman from the Non-Perfect Club has arrived for questioning.
Oh, yes, you may let her in now.
Right this way, ma'am.
Have a seat. Miss Dorothy Hayes, is that correct?
Yes.
Member of St. Peter's Church and representative of the Simon Charity Foundation.
That is correct.
Do you understand why you have been called in for questioning today?
Not at all.
It is believed that your foundation has been engaged in money laundering from donors and accused of indoctrination.
That's absurd. Our foundation helps children in need, children displaced because of the war. Surely you yourself as a father and in all your experience must see that these accusations are absolutely ridiculous.
It doesn't matter what I think. I didn't clean up this city by being kind and sentimental. I did it through hard vigilance and being faithful to the law. Yes, I think it would be incredibly absurd for a group of red, scared extremists to accuse such a foundation of these affairs. But that doesn't mean I will give any institution or foundation the benefit of the doubt. I've been through the ugliness of that war, and I can tell you all about the world, about people, and about trust. And now, as an official of the law, it is my job to ensure that not even the slightest misdemeanor slips through my fingers.
What about all the lives depending on the foundation? The children?
If you agree to testify under oath, you will be able to challenge it before a judge. Until then, the case remains and the investigation is ongoing. But for now, you may go.
Certainly, with God as our witness.
This has nothing to do with God.
Yes, it does. You know, there was a time when doing what was right was more than just political justice. It was about doing what was right, even though the whole world was against you.
Hi, Renee. Kids, you remember Mrs. Bell?
Hi, Mrs. Bell. Oh my gosh, you guys have grown so much. Do you guys remember my kids? Dan and Jessica? They're over there playing. Do you want to go join them?
It's okay. Stay close, kids, and don't wander.
So, Maria, how are you doing with Jim and the kids?
It's been okay.
Only okay?
Well, the kids are getting older and Jim's so busy with his new job and everything. It's just been hard to keep up with. Not to mention everything else that's going on in the world. All these drills the kids have to keep going through at school.
You can tell me about it. I mean, all this red talk is going to tear the country apart from one side to another. And I can never get Frank to stop reading the newspaper.
You too, huh? It's really been getting at Jim. The war has really changed him. And with everything that's going on, it's like he despises the whole world. I remember before the war, he used to have so much love for people and always wanted to do what's right. Now, I'm not sure I know what that is anymore. He pays more attention to his work in the paper than he does to the kids, at a time they need him most.
Have you tried talking yet?
All the time, but you know Jim, always busy.
Well, I would really give it a try. And something else you can do is to pray.
Jim doesn't like praying very much.
All the more reason for it.
went to the palace and curtsied and smiled, and bowed to the king like a dutiful child. When he asked, "Now just what do you want me to do?" she replied, "Could you give me a rabbit or two?" The king thought it over and looked very wise. "I'm afraid," he said then, "that you don't realize just what you're asking. I'll tell you what's true. There is no such thing as a rabbit or two." "You see," he said earnestly, "such are their habits, that they seldom remain just a couple of rabbits. You'll soon find that 2 have been turned into 4, and the 4 to a score, then 4
Hey,
score
Dad,
again
can we
more."
go to the ball game on Saturday?
Jim,
I don't think so. I'll be busy.
Jim, can I talk to you in the kitchen, please? You know how important this is to them, Jim. Why?
I'm a busy man. Can't they see that? Can't you see that? It's part of growing up. They need to learn that.
No, Jim, you need to see that. They need you now more than ever. I need you. But you're in another world. You're practically never here anymore.
Not here? Ugh, what do you think I'm doing all day? Sitting around waiting for money to show
Oh,
up?
don't be ridiculous.
You know what? I don't need this.
Where are you going? Jim, wait! Jim!
Father.
He's awake.
Who are you, Jim?
Why am I here?
You've been in a coma for 3 days. You were in some kind of accident.
How do you know my name?
Your wife Mary and the children came by to see you the other day.
I don't know you from anybody. You don't know me or what I've been through.
Captain James Saul, the 107th Infantry, Hurricane Force, Germany, right?
How would you know that?
I was there. During the war, I served in the field as a combat chaplain. I stood beside a lot of great men in those days. I saw them conquer some of the greatest evils the world has ever known. I saw faith come alive in many of them before they would come for death and breathe their last. I've also witnessed firsthand in the pain and agony the heroes that came back home and went through and still go through. After the war, I too came back home to fight another war. The war in our own front yard between good and evil, between life and death, and the war of every human heart and every human child that yearns for a savior in the form of a father.
What are you getting at?
The Simon Charity Foundation. You're trying to shut it down.
Oh, so this is what this is about.
You know what will happen to those kids, Jim. Why must you persecute them?
I'm doing my job.
Are there not more important things than that, Jim?
Like what?
Your own family needs you, Jim.
What do you know about family?
Are you well enough to walk?
What?
Let me show you something. You see those children, Jim? Many of them have to undertake pain even adults can't bear. Many of them lost their fathers in the war. You see, Jim? You possess a power which I do not. The power to literally build up God's children, your children, and create an empire of angels. But you must look at the light, my son. As a father to your children, you yourself will set the fate for 1,000 generations. Do not waste such God-given power. As a father to your children, you yourself will set the fate for 1,000 generations. Do not waste such God-given power.
Dear Mrs. Hayes, I'm writing to inform you that we will not be proceeding with this case, and to thank you for all of your time, and to tell you that you are right. There are more important things than bureaucracy. Sincerely in Christ, James Saul.
My dear children, throughout your earthly life, there will be dark days before you, days in which you will feel greater despair, great mourning and conflict, days in which you may feel all alone in the battlefield of life. There will be days in which you will feel betrayed, abandoned, and deserted. But such tragedies in the end will not defy you, for deep in your heart and beyond the confines of time and space in this human condition, for which we endure, is the love of a benevolent Father, who so loved this world that he sent his only Son, that he might endure such pain and agony. For to suffer is a tragedy, but to never know suffering, to never know compassion, to never know the meaning, value, and depths of human love and sacrifice possible. What a far, far greater tragedy would that be? For all the darkness of the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. So in your moments of prayer and reflection, ask yourselves, my dear children, are you not more than flesh and blood? Are you not more than such pain and trials? Rise, persevere, and rejoice, my dear children. For you possess a power no one can take away. For as the great St. Paul said, we are not discouraged, although our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this momentary light affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. For we look not to what is seen, but what is unseen. For what is seen is transitory, but what is unseen is eternal. For we know that if our earthly dwelling should be destroyed, we should have a building from God, a dwelling not made with hands, eternal in heaven. Do not waste such power, my children, for the light of the world is upon you, and the love of God the Father remains in you forever and always.